I'm Myke Shrews,
And I'm Tivis,
and you're listening to
the Munster Cast.
episode 74. Welcome back, everybody, to the MUNSTERCAST, the podcast where we watch and talk about the Munsters. I am, of course, your most host, Myke Shrews, here with my co-host and friend Tivis. Tivis, please tell everybody in the universe how you doing today, dude.
Well, since I last recorded, I was up. I'm back down again. But other than that, I'm doing fine.
I don't need to hear about your sex life.
Hey, what you imagine that you hear, it's probably true.
Pick me back up. No, we're not going into that. Anyways, guys,
what are we doing?
Let's get into some dirty work real quick here, but not Tivis's either. You can find the MUNSTERCAST on all social media platforms. Well, not all, but most social media platforms at the moment is Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all via the MUNSTERCAST.
We're never going to call it X. It's going to be Twitter.
Yeah, just because I don't want to change it too.
Because it's a stupid name.
It sounds so dirty when you say I'm on X.
That's what he wants because he's a freaking man child.
Can you check me out on X? It's like, what are we on, ecstasy now? Anyways, you can also find us and see our pretty ugly faces every Munster Monday over at YouTube via youtube.com/@TheMunsterCast. You can also swing on over to our website, which is TheMunsterCast.com. That is www.TheMunsterCast.com. Over there, you will find all of our content, videos, vlogs, audio, everything basically is over there. There are also a little tab on the right-hand side of the screen that looks like a microphone icon. Not me, but an actual microphone, which you can click and leave us a voicemail, which we can play on air if you guys would like us to, or it's just a way to send us a message. You can also do this on any of the social media outlets too that let you send voice messages as well, guys. You can also go over and hit the merch tab, or you can just swing on over to themunstercast.com/merch and get some awesome swag. I don't think either of us are wearing one. Are you wearing one right now, Tivis? I can't tell what shirt you're on.
No, Rooster Teeth.
Okay. Yeah. So you can go over there, find some awesome Munsters clothes, all designed specifically for you guys, the MUNSTERCAST fans and Munster fans in general. So definitely swing on over there, check them out. Hopefully this new company that we're using is working out for everybody that has purchased anything. I've not checked yet. But what I've gotten from them has turned out pretty good. So you can also email us at themunstercast@outlook.com. That is themunstercast@outlook.com. There you can send us also audio messages if you would like, videos if you would like, and tell us your Munster stories and all that other fun stuff over there. And let us know if you want us to share anything that you send us over on the podcast. So and you can also go to where, Tivis?
So we have a Patreon at patreon.com/TheMunsterCast. Basically, we're treating it like a tip jar. You like what we do, you want to throw us some money because, podcasting, it's not cheap, or it's not free, I should say. What we do isn't cheap either, but because we like to do a production. But you throw us $1 there, anything that you wouldn't miss if it fell out of your pocket, we greatly appreciate it. I know we have us, got some support there. And if you join Lester's Next Big Investment, we have a Discord that we are, running. So, nice little community, tight knit. More importantly, Cat just scratched my stomach. You can leave us a review on your podcatcher of choice if they allow you to do that. Give us a rating. Tell a friend. Leave a comment. Thumbs up the YouTube. Talk to us on the social media. All that stuff. It helps us out way, way, way more. This cat
So-
is climbing all over me like a cat tree, and I'm scared to death because she's an idiot.
She's gonna claw your eyes out.
I know.
And then you're gonna lay there on the ground. She's gonna eat you because that's what cats do.
Then, of course, you can follow along with the Munsters today. Ow, my knee.
Over at the Munster, you can follow along with the Munsters Today that we're watching right now, guys, over at themunstercast.com/watch the Munsters Today. That is just a pretty hyperlink for you guys to go to. And there you get to watch all the episodes that they have seasons 1 through 3 over there on the archive.com or archive.org. Sorry. And if you want to check out the unaired pilot, you can go over to, again, youtube.com/@TheMunsterCast. Over there, we have uploaded that episode for everybody to watch as well. All right. I think that's it.
Yep.
Is that it?
That's
what,
it.
What are we talking about today?
Today, we are talking about The Howling. You got your synopsis ready?
Yes, I do.
Oh.
The Howling aired May 27th, 1989. Give me 1 second. Yeah, true. On this episode of The Munsters Today, a thief is in the midst, and Herman decides to find new ways to defend the family. Will he succeed? Will Eddie's singing save the day? Or will chaos ensue? Find out this week on The Munsters Today. There we go. See what happens when I actually write one out.
All right. So The Howling, season 1, episode 23, the penultimate episode, or 93 overall of all Munsters related things, not counting the specials and the unaired pilot. I've lost my place already. This is an early Munster Monday for us, by the way. We're not used to this, so we're frazzled. This aired Saturday, May 27th, 1989. It was written by Bob Hilgenberg and Billy Bybeck. Bybeck? I don't know how to pronounce that. This is Bob's first writing credit, and he has a total of 15 other projects, and 10 acting credits, including man number 2 in Home Improvement. I had to note that one because I love that show. Billy, however, first writing credit was on The Magical World of Disney. So he had a couple more projects under his hat when it came to this. So, it probably took a little bit of the lead showing Bob the ropes. Billy also went on to write for 11 episodes of Home Improvement, 3 episodes of Friday the 13th, the TV series, and 2 episodes of The Sweet Life on Deck, which my wife loves, so I had to mention. And of course, our director is Peter Isaacson, who seems to be the new Ezra Stone.
Yeah.
Our guest cast this week. Oh boy, we have John Fujioka as Mr. Oh my God. Do you want to tap this name?
Now I gotta open it up.
Hagashigawa.
Hold on. Munsters Today. You're talking about the sensei, correct? I'm assuming.
Yep. John, yeah.
And Tivis never wants to insult people, so I will.
I'm not good with.
All right, where are we at? John Fujioka.
Okay. So he got his acting career. His first
Did you hear
credit
me?
is. Yeah, I heard you.
Did that cut? Okay, I thought that cut out. I blanked for a second on the screen.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep.
So 1962, in Confessions of an Opium Eater. That's a crazy title. In total, he's got 100 projects under his name. He was in Walker, Texas Ranger. He passed away in 2018, sadly, but he's got a long and storied career, and it even looks like he will be returning for Munsters Today in a future episode as the same character. Wait,
Mr. Hagashigawa.
yeah, no, it says that he was in Magna Cum Munsters. That's what? As the same character. IMDb, get your shit together.
Yeah, I don't remember.
No, I don't
No.
either. I got excited because I love when characters return, but then you just let me down. Anyway, moving on to the next guest, we
I
have
thought you were already
Dana.
down though today.
Dana Winston as Tiffany. Now, Tiffany's got 17 Dana has 17 acting projects under her name. She was premiered in the TV series Throb in 1986. Let's see. 21 Jump Street she appeared in. Seinfeld she was in an episode for. So she doesn't have any long running stuff under her name, but she's in quite a few things, enough that people will probably recognize her.
Right.
And the next one is Riley Weston as Heather. Looking at her list, she's got 20 credits under her name. The American Scream, In Living Color. She was in an episode of that. That's cool. I love that show. I love me some sketch comedy. She's got a project coming up. Before I Go, it's in pre-production. Oh, she became a writer. She's got 7 credits under her name with 2 on the way coming up. Christmas at Water's Edge. I'm not sure about that one. Good Morning Christmas. So, yeah, she's got quite a few things under her belt as well that probably recognize her, even though she didn't have a whole lot to do in this episode.
Okay.
You ready to dive right in here?
Let's dive.
Done.
Oh, wait. Before we dive, don't forget, everybody, this is going to be the last week that I say this. You can go over to Tubi.com and watch Marineland Carnival over on Tubi. That is Tubi.com. We are not affiliated with them, and in no way are they a sponsor. Marineland Carnival on Tubi. There you go. Look at that. See, we can do commercials for people.
Yeah.
Don't forget, we're available. You got some spooky stuff, especially with Halloween time coming up, guys. If you do like an Etsy shop or something like that and you want it promoted, let us know for sure.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's go.
All right, so we open with Lily teaching Eddie how to sing. He turns it into a howl. Lily loves it, however, and tells him practice does make perfect. And another great message from this show, which I feel like we got also with the basketball one, where we show that even if you practice, you may never get it correct, and that's okay. So they begin again, and the Raven begs them to stop. Eddie now howls so loud, every dog in the area begins barking, and Spot shoots fire out of the stairs. Lily's like, look, I don't understand what your music teacher is going on about. You sound great to me. And Eddie's like, well, he gave me 2 days to improve or else. Or else what, kid? What? We don't find out until later. Marilyn comes in to head to the art gallery for the 3rd day this week. Lily says she had no idea. She was so artsy. And Marilyn says, nah, there are a ton of hot guys there.
Yeah. This line actually ticked me off from the Marilyn we were used to in the original show. I'm starting to realize that this Marilyn is backtracking. It's like the 60s, she was a lot more progressive. And then in the 80s, they're like, nah, girls are stupid. We're going to just make her just a boy hungry kid.
It seems like the reverse of previous Marilyn, where all the guys were into her, and
Yeah.
she liked a few of them as well, not all of them.
Yeah.
And this one, she seems to be after almost all the guys except for Howie.
Right. But wait, so she's also after a bunch of guys in this. So are her and Dustin no longer a couple, an item?
I have that later on in my notes. Is this another one that's out of order?
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Right.
it's a mystery. But Lily's like, well, be careful. You have no idea how many weirdos are around anymore. And that's when Marilyn goes to open the door, and Herman comes barging in, yelling at everyone to get down. Close your eyes, cover your heads, and hope it goes away. Lily's like, why are we doing this? Herman's, you don't know? So...
You haven't heard?
Yeah, there's another robbery in the paper. Lily's like, oh, that's awful. Why would we let that happen? Because why not? That's why.
You're just like, I don't know. That's why.
Yeah, I am heavily distracted. I'm sorry.
It's fine. Well, he goes into how the hearse was stolen from the parlor shop on 9th Street, or no, 8th Street, and they found the hearse over on 9th Street. They found the casket over on 10th Street, and then they found
they found the body on 10th Street.
10th Street, yeah, that's right.
And on 11th, 12th, and 15th Street, they found various. At this point, they're off the ground, looking at the paper, and the girls gasp in horror while Eddie gets this jazzed look at whatever the hell is on this paper. When he's explaining to Lily while they're still on the ground, though, she's like, why does this stuff happen? He's like, well, not everyone could be as upstanding as us.
Yeah. Clearly, somebody just dismembered a body and left it all over.
Or it fell out and just rolled everywhere.
On multiple different streets?
You don't know how close those streets are. It might be
the head
roundabout. So Lily's like, wish there was something we could do about it. And Herman's like, there is. And Eddie says, there is. Without even knowing what it is.
Yes.
So Herman continues to read. If you love your family, learn how to protect them. It's in your hands. Learn Kung Fu. Call 555-CHOP. Marilyn is confused by this. I thought you hated violence. Herman goes, breaking arms and legs with Kung Fu isn't violence. It's self-defense. Duh. Herman begins to head out. And Lily's like, look, you want to start today? He's like, yeah, I got a free uniform if I sign up today. Hell, I'd do it too then. Those clothes aren't cheap. It's free stuff. So Marilyn begins to head out, and Herman's like, no. I'm going to walk with you the entire way. He's like, wait while I check. So he opens the door, and he screams out the front door into the neighborhood like a lunatic that they're coming out, so bad guys better stand back. He then says ladies first, like a coward, and sends Marilyn out the door.
Yeah.
Lily tells Eddie to get back and practicing his music. I'm going to state this. It seems like the main focus of the story is Eddie, and we get bits of Herman doing this stuff. And I really don't understand why, because this very much could have been a background thing that didn't need focusing on, because I thought the Eddie thing was pretty good on its own, but here we are. So now we're down in the lab where Grandpa's doing dentistry on Leonard. He's doing a lot of medical stuff on Leonard. He's taking really good care of that skeleton. So he starts asking Eddie about his music class. Apparently the teacher would rather be a speed bump in a drive-thru than allow Eddie into Glee Club. Which I thought was a great line. Just making sure you're not frozen.
Oh no, I'm here.
All right. Grandpa's like, oh, he's just jealous. Eddie, he's like, hey, do you think you could help me like you help everyone else? Wink, wink, nudge, magic potions. Uh, Grandpa's like, sure. If I could help Elvis, I can help anyone. I like Elvis. Why do I gotta take a shot like this? When I discovered Elvis, he was bagging groceries. One shock from this energized oscillator, and he began twitching, and around 2 hours later, he was singing You Ain't Nothing But a Hush Puppy. I hate just... Eddie thankfully corrects him with the correct song. It seems like the writers wrote that specific part just to bug me.
The whole scene there, I just washed right over it, to be honest. That's why I'm not saying anything.
Eddie says he has 2 days, so he has to work fast. And Grandpa says in 2 days he could get Stanley to sing like the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. And here's where I got my first note for in a long time. The Mormon Tabernacle Choir is now called the Tabernacle Choir of Temple Square. It was founded on August 22nd, 1847, and has performed at the Salt Lake Tabernacle for over 100 years. The tabernacle itself was completed in October of 1867. The choir was founded in 1847. I don't know if I said 19, but I'm going to correct that now if I did.
Okay.
So their first time playing at the tabernacle was held in July 4th, 1873. So they're reaching close to 150 years, right? This year should be 153. 50. Yeah.
What year is it? 2023? Yeah.
2023.
It's almost over, people. We're almost through
it. And then we get to complain about next year because every year is terrible.
Oh, next year's an election year. Oh, God.
Oh, God. It's going to be even worse. Fuck. Hey, buy our shirts. He then asked who Eddie wants to sound like and lists like 3 people I've never heard of. Did you get any of those names?
Mm-mm.
All right.
Wait.
Yes.
What, the singers?
Yeah, I know he mentions people later on that I know, but those initial 3 I didn't.
The initial 3, I really, like I said, dude, I blanked on that whole shot. Because later on in my notes, I realized I wrote down, clearly Grandpa did something for Eddie because of what happens. And I'm like, did I miss something? So I must have missed that whole first scene in the lab.
Yeah. All right. So Eddie says it has to be a today sound, a happening sound, a good sound. Grandpa says he will make him sound as great as the Grateful Dead. May they rest in peace. Now, this is the second time this band is mentioned in this show. Clearly, the production team really enjoyed it.
This Snickers mini tasted like flowers. Sorry.
He then goes back to Leonard and hopes he doesn't have to do a root canal. And Leonard starts vigorously shaking his head like, please don't.
Oh gosh, that's a horrible taste. I'd rather I want some Caesar salad now.
So now we're at the karate studio with Herman. As he walks in, he looks around at the dojo. Yeah, this might be the place. So he walks up to the line with the other students who freak out. The teacher walks up to him, slowly looks up. He's like, what are you doing here, dude?
What you need? And he's like, I need some help protecting my family. He's like, you need help?
Do you live in a minefield? Which is I believe that's the first joke we've gotten that could be a reference to how Herman looks in this show. Because I mean, they get freaked out at him, but we haven't heard a direct reference to his looks. Like we got a ton of those in the classic show.
Yeah, about him being green and all these other things.
So he's like, yeah, I'm here to, I'm real worried about all the violence we see in the news today. Also, I want my free uniform. And the guy looks him up and down again. And he goes, I don't know if we have one your size, but take your shoes off and we can be in class. So Herman begins taking his shoes off, and I'm really thinking at this point, how are they going to pull this off? So he asks the teacher for a screwdriver. Like, there it is. It's too complicated. The sensei's like, no, just forget it. Whatever. Just stand over there. And the other students kind of like shift away from him a little bit.
Mhm.
So the sensei's like, all right, we're all going to partner up. What a coincidence that there are 6 students in the show, the room now.
and the and the person that they put up with Herman is the old lady.
When they were pairing up, 2 people on the left go off, and then there are 2 young couple on the right that immediately just the guy's like, you're with me. And this old lady joins them because she doesn't want to be stuck with Herman.
Yeah.
And the young dude is like looking at the sensei, pointing to the young girl and him being like, yeah, us, the 2 of us. Let's do this. Yeah, me.
They freaking push her out to him. Like, here's the weakest person here. Please stay away from us, monster.
So she clocks she gets pushed up to Herman. She looks up at him and starts passing out, and the teacher's like, all right, forget partners. We're going to practice stances instead. At this point, Herman punches some people next to him as he dances to the chant they're doing instead of doing the what he's supposed to do, the positions and stuff. And this teacher is fed up with Herman already. He is like, oh, why are you here? So he's like, all right, we're gonna learn how to channel our chi to break a brick.
Ooh,
Herman yells
so hard. It's actually not really hard to break a brick,
especially for Herman, because as he's channeling his chi, he yells so loud that the class runs for their lives, trip over each other, and then he just pokes all the bricks before jumping for joy, causing a small earthquake. I really wonder for the stability if they are still in California, because that place is a hot spot for earthquakes already. How many natural disasters were caused because of this man jumping up and down?
I don't know. Maybe that's what happened with you guys there.
Oh yeah. Ohio got a 3. Was it? What did I say? It was 3.6 earthquake, which is unheard of here.
3.6. Holy crap, bro! That's actually, isn't that decent size? Like, what did they go up to? I don't even know. I don't live in California, so I don't live in a hellmouth. So I just live with crocodile people.
Yeah, you're Florida man. So we go back home now, and Marilyn gets home where Herman begins interrogating her. He's like, "Who are you?" It's me. I'm Marilyn. So he jumps out. He's like, "All right, don't take another step forward. I got this whole Home Alone setup going on here, like a whole year before Home Alone comes out." He then demonstrates how it works. It's like it includes him asking
he scares the shit out of her first. He's like, "Wait, who is it?"
Yeah,
she's like, "It's me, Marilyn Munster."
That's the first step of the process. He's got to verify it's an intruder first.
Yep.
Then Spot roasts them, and if they get past Spot, they trip over this invisible, not so invisible rope that causes the suit of armor's arm to fall uselessly to the ground.
Yeah.
And chop them in half, according to Herman.
This rope that freaking pirates used on their sail ships. Like, come on.
Like, honestly, this is the worst setup ever. Also, apparently, the armor is called Freddy.
But you gotta think, if someone is breaking in at night, there's not lights, so hitting that, they would hit the rope. And I mean, the sword isn't gonna hit them by the way it fell.
No, that I wonder if they were hoping for something better, and the first take was just so good. They're like, all right, whatever.
It looks stupid enough. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, this armor is called Freddy. I'm gonna have to make a list of things named in this house at this point, because I literally keep forgetting what the damn skeleton's name is every time I watch an episode.
Hmm.
And now they're just adding more, and I don't think the Raven has been given a name yet. We know he was Edgar in the original show. That doesn't necessarily mean it's Edgar again. Yeah.
I wonder, is Freddy also the name of the Black Knight in Scooby-Doo?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I think they only give like his like last name. Let's see here. Mr. Wickles is all they call him, so it's Freddy Wickles to me now.
All right. That is something that Herman would love to watch. Yeah, he probably missed the entire original run, but they keep replaying that show well up until we were kids in the 90s.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
they don't
yeah.
do that anymore.
What, Boomerang had it all on Cartoon Network? Or no, it was
Cartoon
Boomerang.
Network, oh yeah. Boomerang came around closer to the 2000s, where they shifted all those shows because they wanted to focus on new stuff, and they haven't stopped focusing on new stuff, and it's a shame. Kids don't get exposed.
Boomerang was basically like TV land for animation.
Yes, yeah. It's where they put all the Hanna-Barbera stuff. Yeah. And also that's where I first saw Voltron when I was a kid, and I wasn't impressed by it. And I'm not impressed by it now watching it again. The original.
The cat one?
The cat one, yeah.
Cat one? Yeah.
I'm watching both that and the car one, and I'm honestly enjoying the car one way more. I know people are going to string me up for that, but I'm sorry. It's better. I just punched the microphone. Sorry.
I started Johnny Quest. Do you remember Johnny Quest? The original
Johnny Quest was so good.
Like they had the original. They have the original on Tubi. So
we're getting off track again.
And I still watch Matlock. My wife is like, "Why are you watching this still?"
Have you finished it yet?
It's just a channel, dude. It's a whole Matlock channel on.
I know, but have you gone through every episode yet?
I don't know. I don't even know how many episodes there are. You think I looked? I just watched all the episodes. Every episode I've watched is a different episode. Let's just say that.
All right. Well, Lily comes out upset over the whole trap that Herman put together. He's like, "You're supposed to be protecting us, not beheading us." And at that moment, Grandpa comes up from the lab. "Good news, everyone." He has a big surprise for them all and goes to do something with the organ. Not sure what, because he doesn't use it. He then introduces the fabulous Eduardo. Eddie comes up and sings "Oh Susanna," but he sounds really good until he begins to sound like Alvin and the Chipmunks. And then he slows way down, and then it begins to cycle between them.
It's like Alvin and the Chipmunks and like Fat Albert. Hey,
hey, hey. That's a great comparison. Grandpa just smiles and he's like, "Hey, come back to the lab. We're gonna fix whatever this is. Come on." Something got screwed up. So now we get a cut to Marilyn helping Lily set the table. Lily wants to know how the gallery was yesterday, and Marilyn says not so great. He's like, "What do you mean? You seemed really interested in art." And I'm like, "Lily, she literally told you she wasn't." But Marilyn's like, "Oh, I am. He's just going out with Betty." The show and its jokes. At this point, this is where I'm like, "Aren't you dating Dustin?" So Eddie runs in demanding to talk to Grandpa. His voice still sounds like a broken CD player at school.
It keeps going up and down, up and down.
So Grandpa wasn't able to fix it and gave up, apparently. Marilyn says not to worry, as his voice will change. And Eddie seems to get terrified at that and demands to know to what. And now normally this would be a funny coming of age type joke, but with
Yeah.
Grandpa's experimentation on him, this is a very valid, scary question.
And see, this is where it got me messed up because I missed that first basement scene or the first lab scene. And I was like, Grandpa totally did something to Eddie and is not telling his parents again. So
He
to
got
me, it was
distracted
even
with
more
Matlock.
exciting.
So yeah, now we're back in the lab, and Grandpa's making himself a drink complete with a
Yep.
little umbrella as he hums and sits down in his electric chair, which, just a side note, I know Leonard has been in it most of the time. It is fantastic to see Grandpa sitting in the electric chair again because that was his chair in the living room in the original show.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Eddie storms in to show him how his voice is still changing pace while he sings. Grandpa actually apologizes and takes him to a cabinet of potions where he either prepared to fix this or had there. Who knows? Eddie picks one at random because, oh yeah, he picks one at random, and Grandpa uncorks it to listen, but he doesn't like what he hears, so he corks it again. And I'm like, Myke, did you get at all what any of these bottles were saying? Because I didn't pick up on any of them.
Some of them were singing like the songs, because there was a Sinatra one, right?
Maybe I don't. I know he picks up another one and says that. It's Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson, that's what it was. Yeah, and that was like some of the lyrics from his song. I swore Sinatra. I heard Sinatra, but I might have just been listening to Matlock.
Yeah, Eddie's like, look, I need a new voice or I'm out of the club, dang it. So Grandpa grabs another one.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah, little of this, sets it down, uncorks another one, little of that.
Yeah.
And then he begins dancing to him, doing this weird thing, grabs the third, is holding it, letting them all make noise. Eddie gets fed up with this and just picks his own.
And what is in them too? Is it like a liquid or is it just, what is it? I don't know.
Yeah, and while he's dancing this, by the way, he's rating the sounds that these are making. I'll give this an 83.5 because it's easy to dance to.
Yeah.
I just love the fact that he starts helping Eddie, gets distracted doing his own crap again, and Eddie's just like, whatever, I'm going to solve this myself. So now we're back at the dojo. Herman destroys their punching bag and terrifies everyone again. The sensei comes in covered in padding and an arm sling. Herman wants to show off some of his new moves, but the guy's like, hell no. Remember what you did last night, pointing to his arm? Herman, dude.
This guy came in and he was all messed up.
Oh yeah, he's so defeated too, because the lesson of the day is we're gonna practice theory only.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't do this anymore.
But I did like how when he kicks the punching bag and it breaks in half. I like that they set it up before in another scene with it wrapped in the center, so it wasn't just like here's a punching bag and then here's a punching bag that's clearly going to get broken. Like they left it like that in the whole scene, so when it gets to that point, it's like it flows a little better. Then you're just like, oh, there's the mat that Herman's falling on in the scene that we forgot to move when he,
Yep. Or his toupee falls off quite a few times.
Constantly.
Yeah. So Herman's like, well, do I need another uniform for that? And the guy's like, I'm so sick of you. No, just your thinking cap.
He's like, well, I have a cap at home, but I don't think it does much thinking.
Nope. And at this point, the teacher dude looks like he's contemplating what led him down this career path and the choices he could have made differently in life. Yeah. And so the class begins.
Well, then he literally says it too in the way. He's like, why did I decide to do this? I could have been working at Benny Hahn.
Yeah. Yeah, the class begins. Herman drops to a stance, and the teacher's like, no, stop it. And Herman looks very upset by this. He's like, look, I want to learn how to protect my family. And the guy's like, yeah, protect. You have lethal weapons, more than normal. Don't just use them frivolously.
Yeah.
That word tripped me up. Herman's like, well, when can I? And and the dude's just like, no. No, never. He's like, he then poses a hypothetical situation to Herman, which I'm like, oh, this is going to go great for the guy whose brain works like a Looney Tunes factory. The teacher
he's basically Drax.
Yeah, you ever seen that Futurama movie where they teach Bender D&D and they're like, no, you can't teach fantasy to a robot. Their minds are programmed to just take facts.
Yeah.
And then he starts freaking out. That's what I imagine Herman's like. So the sensei's like, I'm the bad guy breaking into your home. And Herman's like, my home on 1313 Mockingbird Lane? Like, Herman, why are you giving your address? Don't do that. What's wrong with you?
I don't think any of those people in that room were going to his house, though, Tivis.
That's fair. It would have been funny, though, if we found out someone in that room was the burglar. I thought that's where they were going to go with it, but they didn't. He is like
sensei all along.
And that's where I thought this was going. I grabbed your wife and your family. It's like, wait, even Grandpa? Yeah, even him. Sure, whatever. That's when you step in and do. Herman yells that he's on his way, family, and then runs straight through the wall to make a beeline for his house. And I fear for every building in his path. I really hope this dude has insurance. And the sensei just calls, what a monster. You know?
Oh boy. Yeah, and so at this point in the thing, was yours skipping by chance?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so mine was skipping for some reason. I'm not sure why. It skipped probably for the next 2-3 minutes. It was just like lagging, kind of like you get on the video here every so often.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe it was just the digital version that I had.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, the copy I have worked fine.
Okay.
The two girls are walking up to the front door of the Munsters house. I'm gonna sneeze.
Achoo!
Lily answers the door, and they're like, "Hey, is this where Marilyn lives?" And Lily's like, "Yeah, I'm her aunt. Why don't you come in?" And she calls Marilyn down and walks away. The girls make some really snotty remarks about Lily as Marilyn walks out. They wanted to see, you told us about the interesting stuff you had hanging around on your walls. We assumed it was paintings. Lily comes back out to offer them some mouse eyebrow sandwiches. And can I just add that Marilyn looks extremely unhappy and kind of embarrassed during this whole exchange, which is very different
from her normal. Yeah.
So they're like, the girls are like, oh, you call them mouse eyebrows. That's a funny name for them. And Lily kind of just stares at him like, well, what else would you call them?
Can you please leave my house now?
Well, the lights dim. The two girls freak the hell out, which is totally natural, I might add. Well, the lights just turned out. They're already scared of this house.
Yeah.
Eddie
Marilyn also, before that happened, Marilyn was like, felt a little awkward.
I brought that up. She looked like she was embarrassed.
She's embarrassed about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is weird. But yeah, so
And then when the lights did dim, Marilyn also kind of like freaked out for a second too.
Yeah, she's like, oh God, what is Herman up to now? But no, it's Eddie. He just appears on the stairs and begins singing Hallelujah. And everyone is so impressed by this. And I am having Snyder cut flashbacks. Herman then comes in and begins assaulting everyone in the room.
Well,
Destroying.
Eddie was walking. It was perfect scene for Eddie. Like, if you guys didn't see
Go
this,
ahead.
you have to watch it because he's got a microphone. They put a spotlight on him, and he's just like, Michael rode his boat ashore. And he's walking down the stairs as he's singing it and like
He's
doing his
so
like
well.
dance that he does too.
Mhm.
It's so freaking hilarious to me.
Yeah, it was a great scene for Marsden.
Yeah.
So yeah, Herman comes in, begins assaulting everyone in the room. Girl, stay back there.
Did you notice he's dressed like Michael Jackson, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. He's got the gold glove on one hand, and they took his, so people didn't watch, they took his, hopefully I'll use it as an image for the episode, but he had his purple suit on, but then like how Michael Jackson had the jacket with the tassels and all that crap, they kind of infiltrated, they put that on with his clothes that he had there, which was pretty cool.
Get up here if you're gonna do
to make it look more like a Michael Jackson outfit. And then he even does the moonwalk and everything, and he's really good at it too. For like,
he's great.
I've seen adults do way worse trying to do it that are actual dancers. So yeah, I wonder how has he ever done like Dancing with the Stars in his adult age?
I do not know.
That might be something he should try out.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea.
Especially if he redresses as Eddie Munster.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
Right.
All right. Anyway. Yeah. In the process of like assaulting everyone in the room, he destroys Freddy. Herman realizes his mistake and says, look, my sensei was right. I do need to watch where I use these things, and then flings his hands around. Lily grabs them and says, look, it would be better if you just joined the neighborhood watch. And
yeah.
Grandpa's like, not for the people in the watch. And then Herman rounds on the two girls. He's like, who are they? It's like, they're Marilyn's friends, you idiot. So Herman then goes up to them and is like, why are you trying to kill my son? And Lily saves them by coming up saying, no, Eddie was singing. We were having a good time. What is wrong with you? And so he's then, oh, good for you, Eddie. Was he good? Yeah. And Eddie says, no, I was bad. And then howls and begins singing again.
Did they? I might have missed it. Did they use the gag where he goes, hallelujah, by chance?
I don't recall, honestly.
Because if they didn't, that was a lost
such a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone's like gathered around enjoying Eddie singing while the two girls are still like cowering by the door, kind of like, oh, do we leave?
Yeah.
And again, I want to reiterate, I know Herman has been like a big plot point of this story, but I feel like the singing was a better one mixed with Marilyn. And then if they just had Herman in the background doing all this stuff, I think it might have been a little better for me. We'll get into that later, though. We got the last scene to go through.
Yeah. We are at the TV area. The rabbit ears are down flat, like Tivis.
We're not watching TV. You jerk.
It took you a second. Grandpa's apparently.
One thing I have never been called in my life is flat. Smack my stomach.
What's that girl's name from Willy Wonka that turned into the blueberry?
Oh, what is her name? I
Crap.
only remember Augustus Gloop.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's there too.
I identify with him more because we look alike.
So Grandpa is reading a magazine. On the back of the magazine is Mega Muscle on it, but he's reading it with a
his reading
giant magnifying glass that he has. But he hasn't even opened the magazine. If you look at it, the Mega Muscle thing is the ad that's on the back of the magazine. So it's not even like the magazine's folded over. The spine is perfectly closed and everything.
Maybe he's reading the stuff on the cover.
There's never anything good on the cover.
Now, you've obviously never bought the Weekly World News.
There's definitely never anything good on that cover.
Hey, Batboy got married. Okay, that was big news.
To who?
I don't remember. Maybe Sasquatch.
Sasquatch's step cousin, Merman.
Yeah. So yeah, everyone's around. Grandpa starts saying, he sees nothing wrong with the way these new rock groups dress. The police in Transylvania all look like that. And Herman's like, yeah, it's a good point. And Lily starts thinking, yeah, you're right.
So I wonder what rock group he's talking about. Is it Kiss?
I don't know. For some reason, I went with YMCA.
There's only one police officer.
I know.
And that's not their group. It's called the Village People.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. My mind just went there first for some reason.
Are the Village People still like alive, or are
they're still touring? Yeah, I think they replaced one of the characters with a new one though.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. I want to say maybe the police officer got retired and they introduced a new character, but I'm not 100%.
Gotcha. Yeah, like the get off on a tangent real quick. The Village People to me were like, I could just see them taking that idea and turning them into like a Power Ranger type group.
Yeah.
Like you have like the Indian one, you got the cop, you got the constructor guy.
Someone has done it. They have to have either Robot Chicken or one of the various sketch comedy shows. Yeah. Somebody's got to have. Eddie
fan film idea coming through. The Village People meeting the Munsters. Now that would have been something cool.
That is a great idea. We got the Stallones, right? Standells.
Oh yeah, Standells.
Standells in the original show. Yep. Let's get some music group in this one.
Yes.
I know it was made
40 years later.
It was made a long time ago, but I'm campaigning for it.
Okay, maybe not 40 years later because I was born when this came out, so I'm not there yet. What is this? 30? This is 89, so that's what?
How old are you?
35 years ago?
Yeah.
No, 34 years ago? Roughly?
Yeah, 34.
Yeah.
Actually, with us in September now, or heading into September, probably coming up on the anniversary.
Yeah. By the time this episode comes out, it'll be past my birthday.
Yeah. So Eddie runs in shouting that he didn't get cut from the club. The teacher wants Eddie's old voice back because he added something special to the group, which is a very nice thing for the teacher to say after being an asshole to him in the beginning. Herman wants to sing with everyone together, so they start singing Hallelujah once again, and Eddie is awful. I'm sorry.
And this teacher just wanted him. He just wanted them to be himself in singing. So then I'm like,
magic to cut corners.
Yeah, but if he just wanted them to sing like himself, then what was the whole point of any of that then? Because he was already still singing like himself.
Who knows? I'll jump into my thoughts since I already started them.
Okay.
As I was saying, I think the Herman story would have been funnier as like background. We didn't see him at the dojo or anything. We just know he was taking karate, and then he comes back and makes that comment like, "Oh, they were right. I am dangerous." I think the jokes would have landed better, just as well, and we could have gave more time to like Marilyn.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Overall, I enjoyed this one. I thought it was a really good one. I'd like the Eddie stories a lot in this because I don't know. They're giving Marsden a lot more than they gave Butch. I think the most we got of like the most Eddie centric episode back in the classics might be the one where he was trying to run away.
Mm. What about the one with the girl that never showed back up ever again?
Yeah, maybe.
We
There
get
was
a lot
very
more
few
Eddie
though.
in this series. We definitely get a lot more Eddie in this series
Oh
because
yeah, yeah.
by the second season of the first show, they were like,
It was
"Here's
basically
Fred
the
and here's
Herman and
Al. Here's
Grandpa
Fred.
show.
Here's
Yeah,
Al. Here's Fred. Here's Al." Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So
Sprinkles of Lily, and then very few of Marilyn and Eddie.
yeah, yeah. No one cared about the kids.
I did. Marilyn
Back
wasn't a
then,
kid
no
back
one
then. She
cared
was in
about the kids.
college.
Back then, no one cared about the kids. They knew who was watching the show. They're like, people are coming here for Fred Gwynn and Al Lewis.
Yeah, I had a good time with this one. How about yourself?
Okay.
What do you think?
It was okay. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I like I said, I missed the whole first scene with Grandpa and Eddie by themselves in
Missed the whole
the
denturist
lab.
operation on Leonard. I almost called him Stanley.
So yeah. Uh as far as like the stories and stuff go, I found the martial arts story arc to be funny. Like the scenes were funny and everything. But I did want to see more with the Eddie singing storyline just because it's like we don't what happened. Like I'm not sure. Like at the end when he's singing on the stairs with the Michael Rosebow Shore. Is it was that Grandpa's doing or was that his own doing? So I was a little confused by that part. And then by the end, we're like, oh, it's be yourself type of thing. And then it's kind of like, okay, but we've had that lecture before on the show when Herman said, you know, it doesn't matter what color you are or what your size you are and all that crap. It's about being yourself.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
The thing we play at the end of every episode.
Yeah. So I mean, the episode was good. Don't get me wrong. I still like the episode in the format that they gave it to us. But I think that a little bit of tweaks here and there could have made it a lot more of a powerful and better episode for sure. But with this show too, it doesn't really seem like they're going for those hard hit moments like the original. Every so often in this one, we've gotten one. This is episode 23 of this season. We only have one episode left for the season one.
Yeah, finale next week.
Yeah, and we've had a good 4 or 5 episodes probably with like a moral of the story type thing where they kind of like, remember kids, don't you do this or don't do that.
Or else.
What was it? He-Man did that, right? At the end of every episode back in the day? Yeah.
Maybe.
Or
I don't know.
Captain Planet did it too. Yeah.
I remember more of Captain Planet. I like that more.
Who else did it? It was
it G.I. Joe and Transformers, the more you know stuff?
The More You Know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or even Wishbone, I think, did it.
Oh, Wishbone.
Yeah. But no, it was a good episode, dude. I enjoyed it. I was satisfied. And
I think knowing that one of the two writers, this was their very first writing credit, at least shown on IMDb, we know how reliable that is. But if this is their very first, I think it's a very good foundation to start with, and I'm curious to see how I might look into some of the other stuff they wrote on their own, not as a partner, to see how they grew.
Right. Check it out that way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything else on this episode, dude?
No, that's all I got on this one. Let us know what you thought about it in the comments. Email us at
TheMunsterCast.com or no, TheMunsterCast at Outlook.com.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
I'm looking for the. Nope, that's YouTube. There it is. Mike, got it. You do it. Also, don't forget about our microphone on the website. You can leave us a voice message.
Yeah.
Reach out to. We love hearing people's thoughts on these episodes, not just our own. So the more we get, the happier we are, honestly.
Yeah. And sometimes you guys like
make points we don't even think of.
Yeah, make points we don't think of or have experienced the episodes more times than we have too. And it's always great to hear your perspective on it coming back to an episode that you've seen multiple times, where this is just our first time. I'm sure if we decide to continue on doing the podcast once we're gone through all the content that's out there, and we decide to just like loop back and go into the other stuff, I'm sure there's going to be things that we pull from that we didn't mention in the past.
Yeah.
Especially from like the original series or even this series too. So it's always great to hear from you guys. Let us know how you feel about the episodes, and especially because it is a show from like the late 80s and stuff, we know things are different now in the way that we make content and stuff for the audiences. So yeah,
especially Nice Guy, dude, continue your stuff on YouTube. Every time you say anything on there, it's amazing to read. So
everybody too, we've been getting a lot more comments on social media and YouTube and messages, and we appreciate all of it, guys. We definitely appreciate it.
Speaking of nice, I think the Monster Bash is coming around again in October. I'm not 100%. I don't have it written down because I know none of the Munster Cast are going to be there this time, but I did see that it's coming back. So if you enjoyed going in June, you might enjoy going this time. Have fun.
Yeah, awesome, man. Well, anything else?
That's all I got. Oh, what next week for the finale?
Next week, join us for you, the Munster. Ooh, the Munster. Ooh, ayo, the Munster. You, the Munster.
My prediction: this is going to be a Lily episode because we haven't had one of those in a while, and it sounds like a perfume name, and I don't know. That just seems like something Lily would be into.
Yeah, the Munster. Oh. I can't do that too much with my voice. Oh, yes. The Munsters. All right, guys. Well, with that all said, thank you all very much, and we will catch y'all next time as we take another stroll down 1313 Mockingbird Lane.
I want you to learn is it doesn't matter what you look like. You can be tall or short, or fat or thin, or ugly, or handsome, like your father. Or you can be black or yellow or white. It doesn't matter. What does matter is the size of your heart and the strength of your character.